Greetings, consciousness. Welcome back. And so in this podcast, we will be visiting the book of John, the 3rd chapter, about verse 5. Because in this chapter, there is a story of Jesus. And I say story because that's all it is. These are stories. That's why they say the greatest story ever told, not the greatest history or biography of Jesus, but they say the greatest story ever told. And so in this story, Jesus is speaking to a man called Nicodemus. And Nicodemus is a teacher of the law. And this teaching is about man being born again. And when Jesus said this to the man, Nicodemus, who sneaked out in the middle of the night to come and see Jesus. Obviously, he didn't want his friends to know that he's having a conversation with Jesus, the other rabbis. And Jesus says to him, "Truly I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of heaven or can enter the kingdom of heaven unless they are born of water and spirit. Flesh gives birth to flesh, and spirit gives birth to spirit." Now this man is confused and asks a question: how can man enter his mother's womb for a second time? Obviously, you know babies are in water in their mother's womb. There are two kinds of wombs: our mother's wombs and our mind, the mental womb. And so to conclude on last night's podcast, now we understand what the Virgin Mary represents. And so unless or until the spirit self, the soul, is born of water, as Mary represents divine truth, the Virgin, the subconscious mind, the ocean, the infinite mind, unless man becomes one with the subconscious mind. You see, the subconscious mind only records that which you feed it. And so it submits to the conscious mind. And so we live in our ignorance. And this is Jesus, or the Christ, in the boat. When we follow our own conscious mind and make the wrong decisions, we make mistakes. And then fear comes, we panic. Then we have to wake up the Christ within us. I'm not talking about you waking up any power outside of yourself now. Everything is within yourself. And when you wake up the Christ within you, that's when you calm the storms and calm the waters. And so until man, or unless man, is born of water and spirit, he cannot see or enter the kingdom. of heaven. This is when man is ruled by a divine mind. Whenever you are not operating from your conscious mind, the subconscious mind gives you ideas from a divine source, which makes you the living Christ. And so if you have a picture of a man on your wall, it is time for you to rip it off your wall, because that is idol worshiping. There is only one mind and one body. You see. And so these are characteristics that has been personified in a book. Everything you are looking at in this world, all the material things that we worship, came out of the mind as mental pictures. If you are looking at a beautiful car, the creator of the car first saw mental pictures. All the components needed for the car was first mentally. And this is why you have to be very careful with religion. Because you see, as a man thinks, so is he. When you go to your churches or mosque, whatever it is that you enter, the fear that are projected into your minds will be captured by the subconscious mind. And then your own thoughts will put you into slavery. That is why when they pray for you, they say, if you believe, because once you believe a thought, it becomes your reality. And so prayer doesn't change anything because of some external force. Everything changes because of your own inner power, through the power of belief. And so now you have to renounce, reject all negative thoughts that are projected to you. And then the Christ within you will heal you. That's what this thing is all about. And so this born again child is not one born of a penis or a vagina, but a pure mind. The conception that takes place within. Such is the power of mind. This is why in the Bible, the guy that was possessed, his demons was casted out into swines. This is the negative thoughts, negative projections that was ruling his life, that was casted out into swine. The swines are dirty animals. Dirty animals represented here as the negative thoughts that puts one into mental slavery. And so the born again idea is a very simple idea. There is only one sin in the world, and that is to live in ignorance of self. Once you know who you are, you have the power. And this is why you're told, if you believe, you can say to the mountain, move, and it will move. Not a physical mountain, but the giants in your life. You can overcome anything. In your Bible, you are told, when Jesus was leaving the 12, he said, I am with you always. If somebody is with you always, would they ever leave you? I'm not talking about a person now. You are the living Jesus. The Christ is a consciousness. And so if the Christ never left you, will be with you always, even until the end of the age, then the Christ cannot come back because it is always with you. This is why you're told in the Bible, do not look to the clouds and expect the kingdom of heaven to come from the clouds, nor the sea. Otherwise, the birds and the fishes would have preceded you. Everything is within yourself. This too is the beginning of wisdom, if you can accept it. Then the next time somebody tries to put fear in you, you let them know that you are a divine being and you have no fear, because you are always connected to the source of life. You are one with the Father, and the Father is one with you. Such is the nature of things. And so consciousness, I hope you understand. The rebirth or the born again concept, it is by renewing your mind and coming to know your true self, your true nature, and the power that lays within you. Peace.